I think in some ways, I still have that naivety about the marathon because I haven't had a bad marathon yet. I've only done one and it went really, really well. So there's a little bit of apprehension about one of my marathons has to go wrong at some point. So now it's like, is it this one? Is it Berlin that's maybe not going to quite go as well? Sit outside again. My mum would be horrified if it wasn't colour coordinated to some sort of level of degree. So my shorts, yellow drawstring, yellow shoes. There's a connection. I'm using the half as a gauge as to where I am fitness-wise going into Berlin. I did the Paddock Wood half leading into London, and that was a really good indicator. I found that for me, roughly, it'd be double my half marathon time plus 7 minutes. So with a 65 dead half marathon, that ended up estimating I'd run about 2:17. So that's what I had in the back of my head. So I'm going to use the big half as a similar sort of gauge into Berlin, double plus 7 minutes, and hopefully that ends up being an exciting equation rather than a bit of an, I guess, confidence killer. But also, I love racing in London. There's something about racing in your home capital. The crowds, just the streets that you've kind of seen on TV or in programs, and just, yeah, I'm really excited to learn where I'm at. But also I think it's going to give me that bug of like, okay, this is a big race, but Berlin's exponentially bigger than the big half. So I think it's actually going to fuel the fires, like just putting petrol on it. And I'm going to be absolutely raring to go after the big half, and I'm really excited for that. I think I'll know when I get to the end of the race whether it's been a good race or not, and I won't let it be dictated purely by the time on the clock. As I said, the course isn't the quickest in the world. What happens if it ends up being a tactical race, for example? What happens if I fall over? That sort of thing. So I think it's the sort of thing you get to the end of the race and you kind of take everything into consideration, and then it's very similar to like a cross-country race. I think this sort of event, in terms of you'll get to the end and you'll know just off your gut instinct whether it was a good race or not, especially being as I'm probably not going to taper into it either, because if I taper for the big half and then I've got Berlin 2 weeks later, that's going to end up being quite a long taper, which I typically don't like. I prefer a shorter taper just for my mental needing to scratch the itch of running most days. So yeah, I'll get to the end of the big half and I'll know when I step over the line, and I'll probably know in the last 3 kilometers of the race whether it's been a good day or not. Initially it's kind of like apprehension and unknown. I haven't raced in a long time, and when you're doing this sort of volume, like, you just always feel like tired. You always feel a bit, I don't know, like it never feels like anything's like really clicking because you're always quite tired. And then it's like once you start to taper, the legs come to life, and suddenly I feel like I've never trained that well, so my training performances have never been good comparative to the race. And then I always pull something out on race day that shocks me, because I'm like, my training hasn't indicated I could do this. And it was the same with London, it's the same with basically every PB I've ran. It's always a case of like, oh, I had no idea I was actually capable of running that, because training suggests I should be slower. So it's the same with this, really, I guess, is I could potentially surprise myself. And I guess that's a good thing in terms of I go into races like not worrying about if the training's indicated I could run that quick, because I know I end up shocking myself anyway. Yeah, it feels a bit surreal being around like some athletes that I've followed for a long time, and like, for example, like Jack Rowe, I know he's going to go out and just beat everyone basically, but it's cool to be on the start line within 10 metres for the first 3 seconds of the race. I was like, wave goodbye. Maybe see him when he like comes back the other way. But no. Like,
any time or sort of like place predictions, or not really yet?
I always work off like A, B, and C goals. No, I don't know if that's like a bit of I don't really think that's an elite mentality. I think that's just I don't know. But so I guess A goal would be to PB, so sub 65, get into the 64s. B goal would be a 65 something, and then a C goal would be, I guess, like 66 something. Really, I think I'd be quite disappointed if I did run that much slower than my PB, because Berlin's only 2 weeks to go now. There is no time for a big shift in fitness at this point. So yeah, we'll see. But I'd like a 65 something or a 64 something on a good day. But there's cobbles and there's like the bridge, not the bridge, the tunnel, so you can lose a little bit of time there. But also because there's like a decent elite field here, like a good finish would also be maybe quite a good. Like if I could get top 10, maybe top 5. I don't know if that's too ambitious. We'll give it a go. Yeah, so we'll see. There we go. Right. Warm up, let's go. Right, I'm going to do some like strides and stuff along here. I think I can go down there, so I'm going to do like 2 like 45-second kind of like bridging the gap between warm up and race pace, like this chap is doing.
Head to the start.
Catch it a little bit.
Yeah,
Let's go. Yeah, I don't want to go down the path of having one good performance that I'm still claiming or still talking about in 10 years' time. I want to just back up that good performance with more good performances. Hey man, how you doing?
How are you?
Not good. Stomach
Tummy.
problems. Yeah,
Tummy.
not good at all.
Really?
I need to get it looked at really, but I did a blood test this week and everything was fine. My testosterone was a bit low, but that doesn't really cause stomach issues, I don't think. So
I've never walked away from this race feeling like I've smashed it and I've done all 8.
yeah,
I'm still hoping next year will be the one.
yeah.
You're not going to do a cool down, eh?
No, not today. Well, I don't know if that's told.
If this helps with anything, last year I ran like 69:30, and then my second half of Berlin was faster than this.
Nice.
So that gives you some confidence.
Yeah, thank you
Okay,
so much, man.
I'm gonna do cool down.
Take care. See you later.
How you feeling?
I was thinking, like, when I was running, like, was I going to get to the end and like be kind of angry or sad or disappointed or just kind of non-emotional about it? I just don't really know, like, because I feel like I know from the first half that I'm not as fit as I was at London, and that's okay because this Berlin is like a stepping stone on the journey. Like, I finished London, I then planned Valencia, and then it was like all adding in Berlin kind of last minute. So I knew that it was kind of it had the potential to go well, but it also wasn't ideal preparation. But then I feel like I've done some really, really good training leading into this. or like I've just been working really hard. I've been getting up early mornings, like getting in getting in runs late at night, like around work, and just getting in the hard graft. And it feels like it's not getting back what I'm putting in at the moment, which is fine. Like, we don't get into running for like a smooth ride. And if you want an easy sport with no bumps in the road, like, this isn't the one for you. I always return to this kind of phrase in my life where once is a mistake, but twice is a choice. So as long as I'm not making the same mistakes over and over again, I think ultimately that's what I want to get from Berlin. Learn something or prove something to myself, and that might be improvement, but it might also be failure. We're all runners, we always want the next PB, the next goal. So a PB would be lovely, and that's what I'm going to be shooting for. But my self-worth isn't hung on that PB. If they watch me run past and think, wow, that's someone who has clearly worked hard towards their goal, and they look like they're working hard and they're giving everything, and it means a lot to them, I want to show on the day that running means a lot to me, then yeah, that's what I'd want them to take away. This is someone who cares so deeply about this sport, because that's exactly what I do.